everyone out there. Welcome back again once more to End Times channel. Today we are going to have a episode 1 of Matthew chapter 24 from verse 1 to 14. I have decided to make it in episodes because covering the whole chapter will be long. So today in this chapter of Matthew chapter 24 from verse 1 to 14, it answers 3 questions. The number 1 question is, what shows it is the time of Jesus' coming? The second coming of Jesus is answered in this episode. The second question is, what will you obtain? What will you get if you hold in faith till the end? Till the end when Jesus comes back. Then the third question is, when will the end come? So all that will be answered in this reading of Matthew chapter 24 from verse 1 to 14. We shall start from verse 1. Verse 1 says, Jesus left and was going away from the temple when his disciples came to him to call his attention to its buildings. 2 says, yes, he said, you may well look at all this. I tell you this, not a single stone here will be left in its place. Every one of them will be thrown down. Now from verse 3 answers our first question. And remember, don't forget our first question says that what shows that it is the time for Jesus' second coming. Now as Jesus 3 says, as Jesus sat on Mount of Olives rather, the disciples came to him in private. Tell us when all this will be, they asked, and what will happen to show that it is the time for your coming and the end of age. Now from verse 4, from verse 4 rather, Jesus now tells his disciples clearly what will happen. But he emphasized and said that Jesus answered, be on your guard. He first started by saying we, because of course us now who are people who are following his teachings, we are his current disciples. But he has emphasized that be on your guard. Do not let anyone deceive you. Allow me connect from verse 5 with verse 11. Allow me skip to verse 6 because there is something that is connecting verse 5 and 11. So verse 6 says, you are also going to hear the noise of battles close by and the news of battles far away. But do not be troubled. Such things must happen, but they do not mean the end has come. So such things, they will happen, but they don't guarantee the end to come. So Jesus said that countries will fight each other. It is true. We now see the wars between Ukraine and Russia. We see wars between Israel and Palestine, and all those things are happening to show that the end is coming. They are showing us something. They are reflecting something about the end. What Jesus said, that you first have to be on your guard, and all these things will be shown in those last days. But you do not have to be troubled. He said that kingdoms will attack each other or one another. There will be famines and earthquakes. Indeed, in Gaza we have famine because of as a result of a war between Israel and Palestine. There is famine in Gaza. Then here it says there will be earthquakes. Last year probably some of you might have heard of earthquakes that happened around the world. We had earthquake in Turkey. In Turkey, earthquake struck Turkey, and it killed also thousands of people. And in Africa, Morocco, earthquake also struck Morocco. It was a 6.8 magnitude earthquake that struck Morocco. But all this, Jesus said that they will happen to signify that the end is approaching, the end is here, the end is coming. But don't forget, he said, be on your guard. You need not to forget that Jesus said that be on your guard, for all this must happen. But he said, do not be troubled. Then he continued and said, all these things are like the first pains of childbirth. Uh, the first pains of childbirth, because probably I'm not a lady and not even grown up. If I was a lady, or if I were a lady, I don't know all this, like the first pains of childbirth. But maybe somebody watching this and is now a woman, as children, understands the first pains of childbirth that Jesus is saying. Says all these things, the things that are occurring as per now, are like the first pains of childbirth. He said in 9 that then you will be arrested and handed over to be punished and to be put to death. Some true men of God there have been rumors of their names, that what they do, people have been telling wrong things about them, like spoiling their reputation, spoiling their name with a bad image towards them. But all this, Jesus said, you will be punished, and he said that all nations will hate you because of me, because of what we are doing so far as Christians, like true Christians, what we are doing for the Lord, we shall be hated. But all this we have been told that when all this starts to happen, that means the coming is soon. We should be prepared. We should be on our guard, because any day, anytime, Jesus is coming. Because our first question says, when will the end come? So all these things, if these things if we see them like they are shown now, we have seen, we have witnessed, we have heard, we have probably watched on our televisions, we are seeing all these things. Meaning these things are showing us that the end is near. The end is soon. The coming is soon. So we should be on our guard. We should await for Jesus' second coming. It is not going to come like when he came stepping on the ground when everyone was happy. This one, it's different this time round. In 10, it says, many will give up their faith at that time. They will betray one another and hate one another. Indeed, many will give up their faith. We probably might have heard people say, no, I think there is no Jesus. I've prayed, he's not answering. I have I've sought for the Lord, and there's nothing showing like he's present, or he even does exist. But we should not give up in our faith. We should be like a man in the Bible who stayed in the pool of Bethesda for 38 years. He was awaiting for his healing. In that pool, that was a pool of miracles. If you get in, you will get healed from any disease you're suffering. But this man stayed in that pool for 38 years with the faith, with trust, with belief that one day, one time, he will receive healing. One day, one time, his life will be changed. But it is Jesus who healed him, who healed his sickness, all where he was feeling like any complications that he had. It is Jesus. So the very way, the same way this man waited for Jesus for 38 years. Imagine 38 years you are believing that healing, I'm going to receive healing. Imagine 38 years. I'm not yet 38, not even a half of 38. But this man waited for 38 years with faith. So if he can wait for 38 years, so we can also wait, because it's Jesus who healed him. So the same way Jesus healed him, we should also keep on with our faith till the end, believing that one day Jesus is going to come, believing and doing all that he needs, that one day I will see heaven, because all these things are signifying something that some people have not understood. But we as Christians, you and me, have to understand that it is the true end that is coming. We might mistake and say, no, those are just obvious things that are happening, like those are wrangles of those countries. It is not a part of the end. But we shall be surprised it might not be our generation, but not so many generations will pass, not so many centuries will go away minus Jesus coming. So we need to be on our guard, and we need to have faith. If that man could have faith for 38 years, then we too can have faith till the end. Then where I say that, allow me connect 5 and 11. See, in 5, Jesus said that many men claiming to speak for me will come and say, I am the Messiah, and they will deceive many people. Many men will come. So in 11, it says, then many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. So the many men that Jesus said that will come and deceive many people are these false prophets. I watched a certain movie. I watched a certain movie of a certain pastor somewhere in another country. He was having now that time of prophesying to people. So a certain lady came and he was like, he first started by mentioning the name. He got the name right. Then he asked the lady, have we ever met before? The lady said, yes. He said, from where? The lady said, from the warehouse. He said, no, you don't know what you're talking about. But remember, he first started by saying the name. Then, by him asking again the lady that, have we ever met anywhere? The lady said yes, in the warehouse. Then he said, no, you are deceiving, you don't know what you are talking about. He again proceeded and told the lady that your father is dead. The lady said, no, my father is not dead, he's alive and he's living in such a place. The guy said, no, still you don't know what you are talking about. So these many prophets, these many people, the ones who will be claiming that I am the Messiah, they will come and they will deceive many people. Here Jesus even said that such will be in 12, such will be the spread of evil, that many people's love will grow cold. And now by them doing so, the love of people, the love that people have for Christ will grow old. That love will grow cold. Jesus has already told us the things. It is now up to us to be aware, and I believe today by you watching this video, you are already aware of the things that Jesus said that they will come and they will signify that the end is now coming. Now 13 answers our second question. Our second question was, what will you get if you hold in faith till the end? 13 now says, but whoever holds out to the end will be saved. If you and I hold in faith till the end, we shall be saved. But if you grow cold in your faith, in your love, you just be like, you get, because here Jesus said in 10 that many will give up their faith. If you give up your faith, you have not completed the race, and you've given up with your faith, you have not stayed till the end. What will you obtain? But Jesus told us here in 13 that, but whoever holds out to the end will be saved. And my brother and my sister out there, in our faith, we have to stand strong. We have to stand still. You know, people tend to, they want things faster. Like they pray tonight, tomorrow morning, what they prayed has been given unto them. But it's not like that. Walking with Christ is not a matter of, in this year you've succeeded that very year. With Jesus, we have steps, we have floors that we have step 1 and other steps until that success. And that is why you see most men of God, there are those who are rich, but in a locality here we have people who are not so that rich because they are men of God. But now with your faith, you've given up in your faith, then you go doing something different. You've broken your faith. You've not completed till the end. you will not be saved. That is the truth that the Bible is telling us. You will not be saved, or you will not be saved. But if you stay, if you hold out to the end, you will be saved. Now, as I conclude in 14 now answers our very last question, that when will the end come? This is a question that everyone wants to know. That is even Jesus going to come? Somebody told me that no, the end will not come because people die each and every day, meaning that is their end, that people will continue dying and Jesus will not come back, and that is the end. But I said no, it is written and it is supposed to be preached, and that is why I'm preaching, and it is in this first episode of Matthew chapter 24 from verse 1 to 14. Now 14 answers our very last question, that and 14 says, and this good news about the kingdom will be preached. And yes, it is what I am doing right now. The kingdom, the good news about the kingdom is, one, we have everlasting life. Imagine everlasting life, unending life. It will not stop in one, or it doesn't stop. It is recurring, unending. But imagine you living your faith and you fall with your faith. You don't continue till the end. You don't hold till the end. You are going. You will not be saved because you've broken your faith. And guess where you go? I don't want to say it, but you understand. There's hell. There's heaven. It is up to you to choose. Where do you want to belong? Where do you want to go? But the good news is that if you hold with faith till the end, you will be saved, as 13 answered. Now 14 tells us the good news will be preached through all the world for a witness to all nations. After now the good news about the kingdom being preached to all nations, to witness that it is true, all these things have happened, and now the good news will be told about the unending life, the everlasting life. And now for you who chooses to do wrong and you go to hell, even hell is unending. So you have now a right to choose where to belong, where to go. But I urge you to choose heaven by not giving up with your faith. Now it concludes by saying that, and then the end will come. After all this message has been preached, all nations have witnessed and have heard about the good news. Then now the end will come, rather, because now the good news has been preached and all the nations have witnessed. So that is what I had for you today. So this is our episode. This chapter is not ending here; it is continuing. So please. That let's make this message to be promote this message so that it will reach to all nations about the good news, the coming, what is showing that Jesus is coming. Please share this video so that everyone out there will get to know that yes, the signs are happening and now the end is near. It is approaching, that he or she will be saved if he holds with faith. And now after all this are being preached to all nations, and after them witnessing, now the end will come. Let the world know this. By the world knowing this, please share this video to your friends and family, and God will bless you. So I want to conclude by saying, be on your guard. Bye.